is last in Dees cotton. All right, let's bring in our guest analyst. It's Mr. Oliver Slope, Blue Line Futures, coming to us from Chicago. All right, Oliver, what's anything jump out of you there?
Well, we know that the demand side has been a big question mark, specifically for the soybeans here over the last several months, but we're certainly seeing some silver linings for corn and soybeans. A flurry of flash sales over the last week, 2 weeks, and export sales this morning were really strong as well. For soybeans, that came in at 2.15 million metric tons. That was 26% above last week and 47% above the 4-week average. So that's certainly encouraging. You talked about soybeans kind of retracing a little bit from early morning strength, and you and I talked about this last week. Looking ahead to this week, option expiration. November is always a big one, and we would not be surprised to see that $10 mark be kind of a magnet for the market, with a lot of open interest in the puts and calls there. Now, with options expiration, that means first notice day is right around the corner, so we are starting to see that trade volume shift out to the January contract. I still am kind of in the camp that rallies are going to be opportunities for producers to look at downside protection for that January contract. A lot of resistance up at 1020, so that's going to be the line in the sand where you might want to have some resting orders.
Any worries about our drought here is starting to shape up? That drought map has kind of exploded on us here, and I know it's still a ways away, but we also have some issues down in Brazil too.
Yeah, the drought monitor here in the States, it's a ways away. Compared to last year at this time, it shouldn't be all that concerning. A lot can change over the winter time and into the spring. So we're going to be focusing more on South America here in the next couple of months. And right now, it seems like Brazil is positioned to have a pretty good crop.
So far, so good. All right, stay right there. We're going to go away. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk more with Oliver Slope. He's with Blue Line Futures. 262's last. Let's bring him back, our guest analyst who's been so patiently waiting in the wings. Mr. Oliver Slope, Blue Line Futures in Chicago. Oliver, what jumps out of you there when we talk about livestock?
Well, we talked about the good exports in the grain segment, and the same can be said for cattle. The beef market, 16,000 metric tons. That was up 19% from last week and 11% from the prior 4-week average. We've got a commitment to traders, or a cattle on feed report tomorrow, and I think you're seeing the funds just continue to pile into this market, which has me a little bit concerned. It looks constructive on the chart, but we are at the upper end of the risk range going back to May through July, and with funds holding their largest net long position since last October, I think that the upside might be a little bit more limited here, especially if you've got to protect downside risk. The volatility in the cattle complex is relatively low, so I think options are going to be a great way for those with the physical to put a floor underneath you and kind of keep that protection on.
I mean, I'm on record. I don't trust the stock market up here. I just don't. I have a hard time. If you looked at a chart, would you, if your grandmother died and left you $5 million, and you're plowing it all in right now? I don't know. I don't trust it. And that goes in with cattle. I don't trust it either. But that doesn't mean I've seen some rug pulls in cattle and nothing's changed fundamentally when, the market gets a whiff of something. And so that means you got to make sure you've got protection. If you're profitable up here, why not have some cheap options on, right? That's exactly what you're talking about, I think.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And talking about the outside markets and the stock market, I'm kind of with you. I'm a little weary of it up here with the run that we've had and the moves that we've seen in the bond market. I think that's certainly a caution flag with an election just a couple of weeks away as well. So still a lot of uncertainty out there.
Yeah, now that we both agree, it's probably the time to put all your money in the stock market because we'll probably be wrong. But anyway, appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much about those cattle and hog quotes there. Great content as usual. Oliver Slope coming to us from Blue Line Futures in Chicago, as we can see.